dahil pumalo na ho sa mahigit 8 bilyon at bilang ng mga tao sa mundo. At kabilang ang Pilipinas sa 8 bansang inaasahang panggagalingan pa ng kalahati ng population increase hanggang taong 2050.
Good day everyone. For today's video, we're gonna tackle about global demography. But before we start, let us know first the objectives. First objectives, we're gonna define the meaning of the global demography. Second, to know the 3 components of global demography. And the last, how the global demography affects in the economy.
What is the meaning of demography?
The word of demography comes from the root word demo and graphy.
When we say demo, it means the people. While when we say graphy, it is the measurement.
So the meaning of the global demography is the study of the worldwide population, including their current size, their characteristic, and how they were changing and how they were attained, rather than the population of a specific country, region, or city. Global demography is useful because it provides the big pictures of the entire human population without an influence from local economic, cultural, or geographic factor.
Demographers use census data, surveys, and statistical models to analyze the structure of the population. Example of that is the spreading of diseases that we encountered since March 2020 until now.
According to one researcher, COVID-19 pandemic has a great impact to our global demography. They are key components of demographic. These are the mortality, migration, and fertility. These are also known as big 3 of demography, which can produce population change or stability.
And to make it easy to understand, let's go further to rural and urban communities.
So, according to the National Geography, rural areas actually has a very low population, and the primary industry is in most rural areas is the agricultural.
On the other hand, urban areas have a high population and people are migrating to urban areas for many reasons. These include agricultural technology, industrial technology, and for more work opportunities. For more understanding, let's try to look at the migration in time of pandemic.
We are all aware of the news that due to the border closures, other migrant workers are stranded abroad and unable to return to their homes. In addition, COVID-19 pandemic has caused a reverse migration from cities to less populated places and rural areas. There are so many urban dwellers in developing countries such as Kenya, Peru, and South Africa are returning to their rural villages.
Second is mortality. The pandemic has caused a significant number of deaths worldwide. By mid-March 2021, the reported number of COVID-19 deaths worldwide is approaching 3 million and there is 120 million being infected.
The third concept is the fertility. There is evidence that fertility rates could even lower due to COVID-19. There's a researcher found out an early COVID-19 survey fielded in May 2020 conducted by Guttmacher Institute, they asked women ages 18 to 49 about their reproductive intention, and more than a third woman reported that because of COVID-19 pandemic, they decide to get pregnant later. So maintaining replacement fertility is important because lower birth rates translate into fewer people entering the labor force 20 years later, which it can affect in our economy. Additionally, motivations for migration have been categorized into either push factor or pull factor. So let's go to the push factor. When we say push factor, it is something that makes people want to leave a place or escape from a particular situation. They gonna escape either from man-made disaster or civil war. They will leave their land in order to secure the safety for themselves because their communities can no longer sustain life for its people. Example of that is the people of the Ukraine, no? So because of the war between Russia and Ukraine, the people of Ukraine forced to leave to their own country for their safety. Another sample of that in local, here in the Philippines. So, as you remember, the Battle of the Marawi happened in May 2017, if I'm not mistaken, when the people live in Marawi forced to leave the city because the Maote group was starting a war from the Philippine of the government. So, for the safety of the people of the Marawi, they will leave the city for their own safety and they will not longer safety, no, because the Maote group was started the war, yes, as I said earlier. So that is the meaning of a push factor. So let us know the pull factor. When we say pull factor, it's a motivating cause that attracts a person to migrate to another region or country. Example of that is being an OFW. The migrant workers will go to the other country or region because of the abundance of jobs. What is the importance of knowing the global demography? The importance of it lies in its contribution to helping government and society better prepare to deal for the issues and demands of population growth, aging, and migration.
Demography is the scientific study of a human populations. It is important to understand the structure of a population in order to plan health and public health interventions. Population structures can be represented as age pyramids. Population growth or decline depends upon fertility, mortality, and migration. Demographic data can help provide a basis for understanding communities as they were now, where they've been, and where they've headed. It can be a powerful tool for tracking change over time and for uncovering the needs or strengths of a community to guide planning, policy development, or decision making.